Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Lala here from Dream Pass Studio, and in this video I'm going to show you how to get the most out of your digital crystal pack. I'm going to be talking about how to import and use all three formats of the crystals, how to modify the crystals, how to change the colors of the crystals, and things to keep in mind when designing digitally. So we're going to start off in our Files app, and if you're using a tablet, it's equivalent to your Downloads folder. Today we're going to be talking about my free crystal pack called Prismatic, and this is how it's laid out when you download it. Starting with the Procreate file, here's how you import it. You just tap on it and it'll open up Procreate. Once we click on our layers panel, this is how it's laid out. They're all in groups, the shadows and all three shapes, as well as the round ones. So I'm gonna copy the plumb bob or lozenge, whatever you want to call it, by tapping on it and clicking copy. And then I'm going to go out to the gallery and click into my artwork and use 3 fingers to swipe down, because that's going to unlock this copy and paste menu where I can click on paste and have my plumb bob / lozenge, whatever you want to call it, diamond shape crystal that we can move around as we please. When you import it, it will come up as a new layer and it's going to be called inserted photo. So we're going to tap on the transform tool, and this allows us to resize. We can tap on that green circle there to rotate it, but I'm just going to push this crystal onto that middle nail right there and make sure it's centered and lined up. If you're watching this video, you probably own this crystal pack already, but if not, no worries, you can download it in the description below this video. I'm going to show you how to add a shadow behind the crystal. So we're going to duplicate the crystal, and on the lower layer, we're going to tap on that layer and set it to alpha lock. Once we set it to alpha lock, we can fill our layer with black. And as you can see there, I was just showing you. But once we do that, we're going to take it off of alpha lock once we finish filling it in black. And then we're going to go to adjustments and click on Gaussian blur and blur to about 3% or so. We're going to tap on our transform tool and tap to the right 2 times just to show the shadow coming out through the right side of the crystal. We're going to turn the opacity down by clicking on the N button on that black layer and turn it down to about 65 or so. And that's essentially how you create the shadow of a crystal, if you don't feel like going back to Prismatic and copying and pasting, because this way is a lot faster, to be honest. So now we're gonna go in and talk about our GoodNotes file. How do we use our crystals with the GoodNotes file? So the way you do it is you just tap on it and click on the share button. You're gonna see something that says open in GoodNotes, but if you don't see that, you can scroll this little chart here, and then you can click on more to see if there's more apps that you can open in there. So that, keep that in mind just in case you don't see the app you're looking for. So we're going to tap open in GoodNotes, and then GoodNotes is going to pop up and it's going to prompt us to import it where we want. So I'm going to import it just on the front page of GoodNotes in my documents, and I'm going to tap on the ellipsis at the top in the center of your iPad, and that's going to open up our split view options. So we're going to split view and open up Procreate, and just tap on our crystals in the GoodNotes app and slide them over into the Procreate app with our artwork open, and then that way we can do the same thing as before. With this crystal here, I'm going to take it from being a pear to a teardrop shaped crystal by clicking on my transform tool at the top. That's the button that's shaped like a cursor, and then going down to that menu that pops up at the bottom, we're going to click on distort, and then we can squish the crystal in sideways to make it thinner. So far in this video, we've talked about how to use the Procreate file, the GoodNotes file, and I've talked about some distortions like modifying your crystal's shape. Now I'm going to be talking about how to change the colors of your crystals. So we're going to add a new layer, and we're going to tap on that layer and set it to clipping mask. Now that is going to clipping mask into the layer right under it, which are these 2 teardrop shaped crystals that we created earlier. So I'm going to change my color to whatever I want. I'm thinking maybe like a purple. I might change that later, I'm not sure, but I just want to show you how to do it. And then I'm just going to color over those crystals on that clipping mask layer. And as you can see, it kind of completely gets rid of the crystal effect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on this N button. And what that opens up is it opens up the opacity, this top bar here, the opacity, as well as the blend modes. So as we scroll down, we're going to notice that that purple ends up changing how it shows up into the crystal. And when we get to color, the color blend mode, the crystal will show all of the details, but the color of it will be the one that you decided to change it to. So I finally decided to land on green, and I really liked the way that looked. So yeah, essentially that is how you do it. You add a new layer, set it to clipping mask, and change the blend mode to color. You can choose to change the opacity down if you want. If you want more of like that AB effect to show through the green. So as you can see, the green looks kind of greenish yellowish a little bit. So that's really good for some dynamics, you know. Anyway, I'm just gonna like tweak the colors and change them until I'm satisfied with the layout, and I'm gonna also think about the actual nail design today. I went with something really tropical and colorful. We're definitely moving into spring, so I want to get my mind ready with all the colors. Anyway, last format, we are going to be talking about the individual PNGs. So this comes in with or without shadows, and I'm going to use the with shadows this time. And we're going to click on that button at the top. I think it's an ellipsis, and we're going to click select and tap on all of the photos, and then we're going to click share. And once it's done loading in and loading up, this little menu will pop up, and we can click on save in photos. So I'm going to open up my photos app, and as you can see, you'll see the crystals like downloading and loading into the app. And then from there, we're just going to click on the ellipsis in the top middle of our iPad right there, and split view with Procreate. With our nail art open, we're going to slide our image directly onto our artwork. Okay, and then you can move that crystal around the same way. Rotate, well, I mean, it's a circle, why would you rotate it? But whatever, you can rotate it, size it down, move it around, change the colors, so on and so forth. Anyway, so things to keep in mind when you're designing. You want to actually go into your crystals and see what you have, and take in the scale of your crystals and compared to your nail, depending on the length and shape that you have, just so that you have that in the back of your mind when you're designing. And that's basically it for this video. I think for the rest of it, I'm just gonna finish up this nail design. I'm going for, like I said, something tropical, colorful, with lots of like nature and whatnot. So this is where I ended up finishing, but I did end up adding a little bit more crystals onto the French tip nails. But yeah, I really hope that you gained something from this video. And if you did, please subscribe, please like the video so YouTube knows that this was a good one. Thank you so much for being here. Happy planning.